All right.
All right.
Love it. Love it.
That's good. That's good. That's good
This
stuff.
is my favorite Canadian band.
Really?
Which you're going to get to here in just a second.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But this is we're going to call this a special edition episode,
Yes,
or maybe
yes.
a bonus episode. We haven't done one of these in a while.
We haven't. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
We haven't had a bonus episode in quite a while.
This is going to be a great conversation, very informative.
Yeah.
Is the
It's
idea here,
also
of course.
exciting.
Also exciting. Yep. So we are going to be focused on a really cool event that's coming up here
Mhm.
in less than, right at 2 months, as a matter of fact.
Wow. Yeah.
The GoGeomatics Expo, or Canada's National Geomatics Expo.
Yeah.
And it is running from October 28th through the 30th. And it's located this year in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Another one of my most favorite places.
I know
be.
you've talked about that before.
Huge fan of that part of Canada. Been curling up there a number of times, and went to Banff and all that really cool stuff that's up there. And one of the most beautiful places on the face of the earth.
I've heard that as well.
Although the lovely Megan and I almost died in Banff.
Skiing?
Hiking.
Oh.
There's this really cool hike that you go up to, like this little tea house, right?
Yeah.
It's like up in a glacier. And we weren't dressed. I think we were in shorts and like a long sleeve t-shirt, thinking we were going to be fine. By the time we got up there, it was freaking snowing at the top.
Well, that's
And
still normal for Canadians.
Well, yes, obviously, but this guy here wasn't smart enough to dress for the occasion.
You're Arizona
Exactly.
acclimated.
But you get to the top, and they have like a real limited menu of food, including a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it was the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich I've ever had in my life.
So how'd you almost die?
I almost froze to death.
The elements almost got
elements
to you.
almost got to us,
Okay.
yes.
And that it wasn't for that peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
Saved
we
our
would not be
lives.
talking today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. But good times. Tell us about that opening number there, producer Sean.
That was a band called Tragically Hip,
Mhm.
song called Three Pistols. The Tragically Hip, often referred to as The Hip,
Mhm.
was a Canadian rock band formed in Kingston, Ontario in 1984. The band consisted of lead vocalist Gord Downey, guitarist Rob Baker, and guitarist Paul
Good luck.
Langlo.
There's probably a French
Oh.
thing going on there.
Bassist Gord Sinclair and drummer Johnny Fay. Sorry to Paul and his family lineage there. Known for their energetic live performances and a unique blend of rock, alternative, and blues influences, the Tragically Hip became one of Canada's most beloved bands.
One of my most beloved Canadian bands. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we've had them on a couple times.
Yeah,
I
we
dig
have.
it. I dig it. It's right,
Yep,
right,
good
right
stuff,
in line.
Good stuff. Tragically, though, Gordy Downey passed away in 2017.
Oh, really?
Brain cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sad story.
That
But
is.
there is a 4-hour documentary coming up. It's going to be on Amazon Prime here. And about
all
a
about the
month.
band?
All about the band.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yep. So
Yeah.
really looking forward to that coming out. Let's jump right into this. We got a lot to get through here in the next hour. So real quick, we're going to do some very, very brief introductions, and we're going to go around the horn. And if you guys would just give us your name, how you're affiliated with the Geomatics Expo, and what's a fun one? Favorite?
Oh no! If you had a walkout song, what would it be?
There you go. So, Alex, if you'd go first, just name, how you're affiliated with the expo, and your walkout song.
So my name is Alex Hilstosky. I am the chair of the Reality Capture and Digital Twinning program for the GoGeomatics Expo, but Karina and I are also doing the Can Slam circuit. My
Nice.
walkout song? Man, this is not my jam. Is there a song by that title? Because I'll use it.
We can go with that. Not
All
my
right,
jam.
good.
Not my jam.
Yes, not my
Yeah,
jam.
we'll take it.
Yes. Hey, you're in the no judgment zone here.
Right? Yeah.
All right, John, you're next.
I'm John Murphy. I'm the chair of the National Expo. If I had a walkout song, I think I'd like it to be Rush 2112.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Another Canadian band.
Yeah. Love
Another
it.
Canadian band. Karina.
So I'm Karina Butterworth, and I help, as Alex had mentioned, I help with the Can Slam circuit, and I'm also part of the organizing committee, and I look after a lot of volunteers and stuff there for the committee. My walkout song, I'm like running through, and I'm like, oh no, I have to play like name that tune. I'm terrible at this. So, I'm like, what do I know? I don't really know any songs at all right now because I
not
put
my
on the spot.
jam for her as well.
Yeah. That's two not my jams. Okay, fair enough.
I know Gavin's got an answer. Go ahead, Gavin.
Okay, I'm on the Expo committee. I'm a consulting editor for GoGeomatics, which means I write for them for free. No. My walkout song, John, you stole it. You stole my walkout song, John. I'm going to go with today's Tom Sawyer, Rush.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Two not my jams and two Rush. Peter, you're up next.
Well, good evening, everybody. Peter Schreier. I'm involved with the subsurface utility engineering piece and as well on the geospatial AI committees. So I kind of overlap between the two of them quite a bit. So that's my area of interest. My walkout song. Oh, I got it. Breaking the Law by Judas Priest.
There we go. Good one.
Is Judas Priest, are they a Canadian band?
I don't believe so. Probably British.
I don't think they are. Yeah, British. I think you're right. I actually saw them when I was in high school.
Oh, yeah?
If you can believe that. Uh-oh. Are we good? Yeah. Ken, you're up next.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Kenneth Ang, and I'm associated with the Expo on the RPAS chair. So RPAS meaning UAS, UAV, many different names these days. And my walkout song is Bellborn by The Killers.
Oh, great song.
Nice.
Great
song. Well done.
Kenneth had an advantage. He got to go last.
Yeah, right. He did have some time to put it together.
Yeah. So we got to mention Alex has been on the show before. John's been on the show before, and Gavin's been on the show before.
Yeah, got a nice little experienced group here.
Indeed we do. All right, so we, of course, are going to talk about the GoGeomatics Expo. And John, I'm going to let you kick us off here by just telling the people, what the Expo is about and kind of how it all began.
The Expo started as just an idea to bring the community together. Gavin and I were together at, I think it was Energio in Germany a few years back. And I'd already had the idea for doing something like that, something big, something that was a large tent event with a lot of poles in it. So that's reflected in all the different programs we have. And I just started to talk to people like Gavin and everybody else around this table and ask them if, hey, we should have something cool in Canada. We should have something national. There's no national thing that we do. Will you guys join me on this crazy adventure and take a shot at doing this? And awesome. It was pretty positive.
Very, very cool. So Gavin, is he telling the story correctly or is there more to it?
Well, so for those that aren't familiar with GoGeomatics, so John started GoGeomatics a way back as a community-based geomatics content. He has all these wonderful meetups with the colleges, and it's a community-based thing rather than purely advertiser-driven. So it's a lot of content. And I know there's the whole Canadian angle. Okay, I'm in Seattle, which is like Junior Varsity Vancouver, but so I could pass for a Canadian if I had to. But I viewed it as the North American amenity. That's why I joined up writing for you guys years ago. It was pretty unbiased. It wasn't like a publication beholden to the advertisers. And I knew John did this great GeoIgnite over in Ottawa, over like in the capital area, which is great GIS, especially government type people at it. But we're walking around Energio and we're both going, we don't have anything in North America like Energio. We really need one. But then it was like, wait a minute, it could be not just exhibits. No, let's get some content there. I think the closest thing to it is like GeoWeek.
GeoWeek, yep.
Yeah, it there's a lot of similarity. I love GeoWeek, but the expo last year was just a whole buttload of fun. Yeah. It just that was what got me. It was a nice, really great networking opportunity. And but the folks are going to talk about the tracks. There are too many tracks for me to get to. They're all good.
Yeah. We're going to get to those for sure. Well, we can't make it this year, unfortunately, but next year we hope to be part of that buttload of fun.
Yeah, it's on the calendar for us next year.
Yes. Looking forward to that. Let's kind of talk about some of the programs here. And Peter, I know you're in an airport actually, and may have to jump off here sooner than later. So you mentioned that you're part of the SU, or Subsurface Utility Engineering track or program. Talk about that a little bit and what you're excited about.
This is kind of where I spend a lot of time at work. I work in a kind of a software development area where we do, different ways of displaying and integrating data from various different, sensors, whether they be GPR, EM locates, GPS, GNS, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And what we look at is, subsurface utility engineering is one of these things that's, for lack of a better pun, hidden from everybody. Everybody thinks, it doesn't matter, we can't see it. You'll see it when we hit something. And so you look at subsurface utility engineering as something that really doesn't come to the forefront until there is a problem. I'm sure everybody has seen the little marks in front of their houses where they, the locating company has put little marks in the ground and said, there's something here. Nobody understands what those are. So what this program aims to do is, bring that to the forefront to say, hey, this is the stuff that's in the ground. This is the stuff that's hidden. Hitting this is the critical piece. We're not looking to say, okay, this is something we do for design. First and foremost, subsurface utility engineering is a safety thing. I've been involved on a lot of different, large-scale projects, and that's usually the last thing they look at until something goes wrong. So, I'm excited about the program because there's a lot of really interesting speakers and people who have been working in this industry that can say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we can make it better. So I'm real excited to see this. So it's going to be very interesting to talk to these people. Very similar to last year where we, just started with this whole GoGeomatics, and thank you, John, for that. It was amazing to kind of get together with these people and say, hey, what are you doing with this stuff? How are you looking at this? And it's more than networking. It is collegial. See everybody.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I've been following the whole GoGeomatics thing, from afar for quite some time. In the GeoIgnite, I remember when that was happening, and I believe we had a discussion with John about that. So it's really exciting to see the growth that's happening with this whole GoGeomatics movement there in Canada. Really, really cool. All right, let's move on to Ken. You are involved with the RPAS program. First of all, let us know what RPAS stands for, and talk about that program a little bit.
Yeah, that's remotely piloted. RPAS, remotely piloted aircraft systems. So
there you go.
It's a mouthful, and it's our Canadian terminology came out by Transport Canada for drones, basically. UAVs, UAS, whatever you call it these days. So there are many legal names for it. So I'm really excited about being involved in this side of the geospatial world. Is, you look back 10 years ago, you just have the DJI-1 or Phantom 1, and it's like a GoPro strapped on a little toy multicopter kind of thing, right? Now you fast forward each year, it's exponential growth. So like you have the DJI Phantom 3 later on with a camera, and now all of a sudden you have Pix 40, and now you can map out whatever you can, right, using photogrammetry. And then, let's go look at LiDAR these days, and then the miniaturizations of LiDAR happens, INS that's getting better. There's a lot of different types of grades of sensors that comes out from it. So I think we're about 10 years of commercialization of these things now. And it's incredible to see where technology has come and what the different flavors and flares are like out there in terms of what you can adopt, right, for anyone using it. So I think what's really exciting about this expo is there's a lot of use cases, a lot of technology out here, but we and John specifically, he's brought all this together and showcase it in such a Canadian flair, where we're bringing forward Canadian companies such like Balco Tech, who's actually on the forefront of making drone LiDAR systems modular, so it's inexpensive, it's more accessible. And, sometimes you buy something and you're like, okay, I don't need this part, I don't need that part. It becomes modular. It's fantastic. And then you've got Spexy, where, they really I can't say the word.
I know the word you're talking about.
Yeah.
But they've really let the public be able to use excess Earth observation systems through collection of photos using really small drones, like micro drones. So you don't need a license to fly these things up here in Canada, which is like, wow, great, right? Yeah. You only need a license to fly drones that are about 250 grams and above, and these things come right under. So yeah, it's fantastic to see. And then you've got the academic side of things, where now there's so many sensors out there, and let's compare them and not have any sort of sales bias to it, right? So I'm really excited to see all these stories and people come together and network as well and share different use cases, because our geography is very diverse too. You've got prairies, you've got mountains, you've got farmland, you've got all sorts of stuff, right? Urban areas, and how you use these drones and in what capacity is going to be very different. So there's a one-stop shop to see all that stuff.
Yeah, the drone or that UAV space is a really exciting space to be in right now. There's so much happening.
Ken, what do you think what are you most excited about of all those different areas in that RPAS tract?
Really, I'm really excited about sensor technology. It's grown exponentially, and that's why I've chosen that specific topic as part of the panel that I'll be moderating over there, just to pick away at what factors driving sensor development technology. Like, is it cost? Is it any sort of technical aspect of it, or is it academic, or is it use cases, or is it how are people also using it that might drive that? So I want to start unpacking that a little bit on the panel there, and I think that's the one thing where there's so many options these days that I want to dive a little bit deeper beyond the surface on why these options exist.
Yeah, cool, exciting. Karina, you're involved with the Can Slam program. We've had Alex on not that long ago, and we talked about it on that episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about what you're excited about when it comes to Can Slam and the Expo.
Well, honestly, it's the education side. So I'm a faculty member, and I love being able to get my students involved in real world stuff. So being able to see the technologies and everything for them and getting it to them and bringing it there, and they can see how it's working. They can engage in it. They can see the necessary parts of a SLAM survey to know they're getting an accurate result. That's what I really find exciting about it. And so being able to put a name to it, put a label to it. So now the students can think like, oh, I know I can go to this resource in order to compare SLAM scanners. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really just bringing it to my students that has made me very excited about it. And then exposing that and bringing that to other post-secondary institutions further on is what I find super exciting. So.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Where are we going to go next? Let's go to Alex with reality capture. Talk about that track a little bit.
Sure. So the reality capture track, obviously it's right up our alley with things like the Can Slam, and I'm working for Eagle Engineering. Reality capture is primary interest, but the thing is that whenever anybody asks me what can you do with reality capture technology, I freeze, and I'm worried that people think it's because I don't know what the answer is, when it's actually I have so many answers I don't know where to start. And so I'm just trying to think what's important. What do they think was really cool? Oh crap! Mm-hmm. So this is your chance to actually to get that really quick snapshot on what's being done with reality capture technology right now. It is really important. I've heard a lot. Americans are in it to win it when it comes to business. Canadians are in it not to lose. And as a result, we tend to play it really close to the chest, and we're almost scared to compare notes. So it is nice to have these kinds of forums to get out and actually share what we're doing, and actually, like, like Peter was saying, actually engage with everybody and figure out what they're doing, how they're making these solutions, and how they're innovating. Because from just setting basic terminology to how we actually apply this technology, there's a lot of different ways that it can be used right now that can have massive impacts on budgets. I mean, 700% ROI that seems kind of worth investing in, right?
Yeah.
So just being able to have this forum but having the GoGeomatics Expo as that regular checkup to actually start, bringing everybody together and actually starting pointing in direction, and less commercials, more material, so that we can actually start moving together and sharing ideas, but also taking small applications from one project and applying them to another. So we just leverage one after another. And it's been really exciting to build this and build the narrative for the story that is.
Did you hear that? Less commercials, more material.
Why are you looking at me? So let's dig into kind of the structure of the expo a little bit more. So when folks register for this event, what does that process look like, and what are they? What type of things do they have available to them? John, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So to register the event is very straightforward. We've priced the event to be very affordable. Right now, tickets are $175. That's for the entire event to see everything. That's Canadian, so it's about $25 American. So I encourage everybody in the States to come on up and check it out. Calgary's fantastic. So you just buy your ticket online. It's as simple as that. We've also got a hotel room block for 160 Canadian a night at the Hilton, which is close to the event. Calgary is a great place to host this. You can probably tell from everybody who's said something so far that this event is really about practitioners and the community, as opposed to a overtly commercial activity. And that's what GoGeomatics has always been about. It's what I always intended to do. I came up through the Canadian geomatic system as a GIS specialist, and then a geomatics manager. And then I moved into these organizing events and things like that, because I saw that there was a bit of a vacuum, not to criticize the community from 15 years ago, but I definitely saw something could be done to bring us together. And it's taken many years, and a lot of these great people here again around the table, and many others, and hundreds of volunteers. And as you both mentioned at the start, we have the largest networking group for geomatics in Canada that's been going on for over 10 years. And it's just been maturing and developing, and the expo is just another one of these activities that we want to support in the community for the health of the sector.
Yeah. And what I think is
Go ahead.
What I think is really interesting is, like, you guys obviously have your national, like, land surveyors organization or association, and then each province has their own land survey specific event every year. And what I like about what you guys are doing is you all mentioned it probably in everything you said, is you're building the community. It's not just surveyors, it's BIM or BIM folks, it's UAV folks, it's reality capture folks, GIS folks, which makes it really, really exciting. And it's, kudos to you guys for what you're doing. This is awesome.
Yeah, and piggybacking off that, I have a question for the group, but I'll start with John. Just looking at one of the goals, it says to engage Canada's natural resource sector. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I can tell you, we do a lot of these type of events and have been involved with them, and I haven't seen that as a goal, and I think it's awesome. I mean, I think everyone would like to hear how that ties in and how that's going to look.
So there's a direct connection between natural resources and geomatics and geography, obviously, in Canada. One of the reasons historically that mapping, cartography, land surveying, and all these things about location are so strong in Canada is because we got a lot of geography to deal with. Right. So we had to very early on start grasping that and moving on it. Natural resources in Canada, oil and gas, forestry, renewable energy, you could just keep going. You really can't work effectively in those areas without geomatics, especially all the tools that we bring to the table for that sector. It's one of Canada's most important sectors. We are a resource-based economy. So that's why there's such a strong connection there. And Calgary is the heart of the natural resources sector for Canada. I would say for most of Canada, for the geomatics, there's the most geomatics in Canada out west, the strongest programs. We've got Karina here with us from the SAPE program that just continues to grow and strengthen. The University of Calgary Geomatics program is one of the best programs in the world. They're also with us. So yeah, it's pulling the threads together of all these different, where people have been in silos, like the different associations. We're working with at least, I think, 8 different associations internationally and in Canada. Wow. Building Smart Canada, the International Map Industry Association, the Open Geospatial Consortium, World Geospatial Industry Council. There's even more that are working with us. It's just fantastic, as well as media partners like the Geoholics and others from around the world to support this, because one of the goals for the expo, another goal other than connecting to the natural resources, is to act as where the world can come to the expo and see what's happening in geomatics in Canada, as well as it's a showcase for us here, for ourselves, because there was no big national event before this.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the, I don't know if is this a track, the Geo AI track? I know, Peter, your name is next to that, and AI is talked about every episode, basically.
Especially I don't know, the news the last few days. Yes. It seems like it's
yeah, exactly. So you want to expand on that a little bit, Peter?
Certainly can. I mean, AI has been, I call it machine learning because I don't think we're at the AI stage. So, if I slip back and forth between the two of them,
sure,
forgive me on that. I mean, I always get asked, what is, AI or machine learning? I always just kind of look at everybody. This is not a new concept. This started back with, Frederick Gauss in the 1700s with the basic concepts, statistics, and probability. And that's really what AI is at its core. I mean, all we're trying to do is, expand on what we already know using data we already have. AI does not give you anything new. It's in there somewhere. You just can't see it. And what AI allows us to do is take some of this data, good or bad. I mean, that's the issue there, is good or bad, and try to figure out what's going on with it. What kind of insight do we get out of this? And now that we go into the geospatial area, it becomes, significantly more complex. I know a lot of people talk about, the large language models, the chat GPTs, the llamas, Mistrals, and all that. That's real nice, but that's kind of irrelevant to us. I got to be honest with you. When we're dealing, when I'm dealing with this ideas behind the engineering space, I'm looking at something like SAM models, the segment anything models, the ones that segment where you take imagery and you say, okay, find me all the water. Find me all the stop signs. Find me the geophysical information. That's what, a lot of stuff we're trying to do is. I can't ask my, my segmentation model, what's going to happen in 2 years from now? It doesn't know. I mean, that's the idea behind hallucination between, and AI. It cannot project forward, even though we're trying to ask it that.
Yeah.
So, with this track, what we're going to do is, okay, the neat thing about AI in the geospatial sector is it's very open. We all have a lot of open source data sets, open source models. They're all available out there. And there's lots of repositories where we can just look at. So it's very much a little different than a standard engineering space where we're siloing things. Everybody here is now saying, okay, how do we get this to work? Because nobody really knows. We're all trying to go in the dark, and hopefully now we can figure out, okay, you managed to do it, get it to do this with this data set. I need to do something a little bit different. Okay, let's talk about this. So this is a great opportunity in that sector.
Yeah, I've never heard AI and hallucination in the same sentence before.
Oh, really? I mean, it's a thing.
It's like AI on mushrooms.
Kind of yes.
like that.
Yeah,
right?
You've heard the term like hallucination-free AI. But I really like the reference of machine learning, and the example that Peter gave was really good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious, like John or Gavin, whoever would like to answer this, is there still space for like exhibitors or presenters, or is everything pretty much set in stone at this point?
No, there's definitely some space left for exhibitors. The program itself is chock-a-block full.
Workshops.
There's room for workshops. Workshops,
for sure.
Exhibitors, of course, attendees. Lots of room for that. We just got in our keynote abstract today that ties into what Peter was talking about. So Bryn Fosberg, Senior Vice President at Trimble, is going to be talking about geomatics and AI.
Nice.
So that's very exciting.
Well, Bryn's a dynamic speaker. What he did for the Young Surveyors Network are really memorable speeches. And also he's pretty colorful too. He gave one big keynote at Trimble Dimensions where he talked about Doctor Who. So, it's not just geo geeks. But when he said, I can come up and do that, he says, what do you want me to talk about? And we thought, okay, here's your prompt. Balancing the human and AI aspects of geospatial applications. The underlying is AI won't take your job, but people that know how to effectively leverage it and responsibly leverage it, they might.
Yep. So
that'll be a good speech. And then Alex has got one of your keynotes is Pete Kelsey, longtime Autodesk evangelist, but now he gets to go around the world scanning really interesting things. Easter Island, Pearl Harbor, and most recently Alcatraz, which he's going to talk about, using all of it, terrestrial scanning and airborne, and he's done underwater as well. Mm-hmm. So, there's going to be, we have workshops, John. A couple more workshops would be good. Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it works in Canada, but is there like continuing education credits available for people that attend or anything along those lines?
Karina could speak about how she's handling that within her own program. I think that would be the closest we have to continuing. Except that's not continuing education. That's the program, I think.
Yeah. Feel free, Karina.
Okay. So I kind of force my students into attending and volunteering, but I last year, they're voluntold. But last year the feedback was that they absolutely loved it. So nice. My first years, they were required to volunteer for an hour, and it's a 5% assignment, but they had to go around and ask 5 people what their definition of geomatics was. And so the exhibitors, when they found out it was me, they were like, I've got my geomatics definition down pat now. So I just had 64 people ask me. But so for them, it is actually credit for their class. My second years I requested them to actually participate for an hour and get them over there. And then I included in their actual final project that they had in my class that in remote sensing, they had to include that they talked to somebody about their opinion about what they were doing. And in the projects, they're often doing like natural resources or natural disasters or something. So they have to find somebody who actually works in those industries and talk to them and include it in their reports. Mm-hmm. So, so that's been, that was my addition to that, and got the students really engaged, and they all came back saying that they really were happy that I gave up a class time and gave up a full day of classes just so that they could go down there and do that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm going to put Alex on the spot.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
How do you define geomatics, Alex?
You need to work on your elevator speech here, Alex.
Geomatics. Matics is measurement, geoplanetary, so large measurement. We are measurement specialists.
Yep.
Okay.
I like that short, sweet, right to the point. Right to the point. How about you, Ken? What's your definition of geomatics from your perspective?
Oh, yeah, that's one. I remember BCIT when I went there, it was like 15 years ago. Day one, it was like, welcome, and they handed you a piece of paper. And over there's like, what is geomatics? So this is what it said: the art and science of measurement. And it was like, if you're not on board it, all right, out you go. And that really stuck, because it's like,
sure,
there's definitely a lot of science to it. All the tools that we use, the software, the engineering, all this stuff, right? But then, I used to be a surveyor too. And when you go out to the ground, how do you design your traverses and your control points, all this stuff? Every surveyor does it differently. So there you go. That's the art.
Yeah, agreed. I love that.
I have to write that one down.
What else? You mentioned something about promoting geomatics for the public good. What is that about, John?
Absolutely. So we started that program last year. Geomatics for the public good is our effort to encourage the public service, the people working in government, all levels of government, to say, well, come and share with us how you're leveraging geomatics for the public good. So we've got an excellent program. We've partnered with the Alberta Biodiversity Monitoring Institute on that program. We have talks from the federal government, provincial governments, different governments across Canada, talking about different things like hydrospatial mapping to flooding, forest fires. We're covering a lot of ground. And it's great to get us together and allow people to learn from each other. Like, oh, how are you leveraging geomatics to answer this question that's a benefit to citizens? There's another component that we've expanded from last year for the public good program. I've expanded we had a map gallery and poster gallery the first year, and that was very popular. People really liked that. So I partnered with the International Map Industry Association and the Canadian Cartographic Association, and we've been gathering posters and maps for about 8 months. I just picked up the last iteration in Toronto at the IMIA event last week, and we've put calls out to all of the geomatics, geospatial departments at the college and university levels to say, hey, submit your posters. There's no cost for this. We will print it for you. And then today, actually, I went out to the provinces, municipalities, and the federal government. I said, hey, we would love to get your posters and maps, but you're going to have to send them to us.
Yeah.
Because I figure they got a bit more money than the schools do. So it's looking like it's going to be an amazing program with fantastic map gallery. There's nothing else like it in Canada. I think the closest thing I was told that will be like this is at Esri San Diego. There's some sort of a gallery.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that is correct. The other program that I thought was intriguing is the Earth Observation Program. Who wants to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, I can talk about that. So that's the chair of that. The people heading that up is the World Geospatial Industry Council, Aaron Addison. Bryn is actually the current, if I'm wrong, either the president or the chair of the World Geospatial Industry Council. So that fit in really well, snapped in like Lego bricks. The whole program, all the different programs, hydrospatial, the can slam reality, all these different things have all kind of come together like Lego pieces to form the fabric of the event. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What else? What else you guys want to get out there? Anything else we haven't touched on?
We can mention a few of the, we probably want to thank our sponsors. So Eagle.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Alex's team is our platinum sponsor. We just confirmed Maxar yesterday as a silver sponsor. Just looking at my list here. We've got Innovation 7, which is an Indigenous BIM firm in Ontario. that's a silver sponsor. For bronze, we have Measurement Sciences and Pix4D. So big thank you. We couldn't do it without them. Those are the industry connections that make this all possible.
Mm-hmm. And it's, I mean, obviously it's an amazing event, and every year it seems to get bigger and bigger and better. And, we can't wait to be a part of it next year.
Absolutely.
But for anybody who still wants to attend this year, I believe the website is, correct me if I'm wrong, GoGeomaticsExpo.com. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep. So check out that website, and then you get all the additional information, and that's where you can register and all that fun stuff.
And maybe Alex, take a few moments to talk about what it means from the company standpoint and why you guys chose to be the platinum sponsor.
It's the excitement of so Eagle. They have a history of innovation with the onboarding of their recent president. Dan McCarthy kind of took the company, was given the mandate to make it grow. He's always had an interest in 3D sciences back before it was cool. So it's really nice. Yeah, it's validating for him seeing this stuff actually coming to fruition. But Eagle started their innovations with the Trimble MX7 in telecommunications, but then the reality capture just kind of snowballed from there. And they're excited about the industry, but they you can't corner it all on your own. We want to see what other people are doing, but it's curiosity and excitement as much as it is business opportunity and networking and growth. And it's just a massive opportunity to get into the ground floor on a social engagement that should have been part of our fabric a long time ago. Yeah. Again, just another leadership role in the community.
Yeah. Very cool. Gavin, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, well, Anna Suya couldn't attend today, but I talked to her yesterday when I was out in the field. We had a terrible phone connection, but she couldn't be here today. If you don't know Anna Suya Dada, she was editor of Geospatial World, a global publication, a professional journalist for many decades. But she lives in Canada now, so hey, we got her on the team. But we're co-hosting a thing called Fast Pitches, and we talk about fun and about every attendee can get right deeply and get right into the thick of the fun that I was talking about. And one of them, the Fast Pitches, that inspired by the GeoWeeks Pitch the Press. Mm-hmm. With their permission, we did it, but we got it a little broader. It's somebody has 3 minutes to get up there and make the best pitch they can about their paper, project, or even product. So, and some of the committee chairs were fast pitchers, which was fun, and a lot of the presenters. So it's like frenetic fun. It's total sheer terror for 3 minutes. And then you get grilled by 3 geojournalists and some other people and the audience. So the other one, the Geo Writing Workshop. So John, you remember about 2 years ago, GoGeomatics hosted a geospatial writing workshop for women in geospatial. And Anna Suya helped put that thing together. And it was really, it's wonderful now that I see that half a dozen of the people that attended that, I see them regularly published now.
Wow.
And they all said that, because the part of it is a writing exercise, and we picked the top entries from that and got it put in different geo publications. So, and on the note of fun, I'm going to lead a couple more expeditions of geo foodie expeditions into Calgary. We identified some of the best poutine around, but there's a lot more in Calgary. So, a very social event. That's why it's so damn fun,
Yeah, that's awesome. Well said, Gavin. Well said. Gavin, John, are you guys, either you going to be at InterGeo this year?
No, not this year. Too much going on around the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be at GeoWeek.
Cool. Awesome. We will see you there, of course.
Absolutely.
What else, Sean? You got anything else you want to ask or add?
Man, there's a lot of different. I do see another one on the. It kind of goes back to the public, and I see a note about geomatics for the public good.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I didn't.
You didn't talk about
I didn't
that.
talk
John
about
did.
it. And what about the Canada Forum?
The Canada Forum, yeah. About.
Yeah, there's the Canada Forum we haven't mentioned, as well as the National Geomatics Awards program, which is brand new for this year.
Oh, yeah.
That we launched, talked about that we were going to do it. So we finally did it. But I'll start with the Canada Forum. So this is the OGC Canada Forum. It kind of went on hiatus during COVID. It's anybody could join the Canada Forum. It's a forum to discuss issues in Canada around geospatial, like standards, anything that the community feels needs work or investment on. There's federal government, provincial, industry there at that. So we're going to have a forum. It'll be the second one since I believe before COVID, and it'll be on the workshop day, and it's a free. That one, anyone's welcome to attend to, and it will be streamed live.
Wow. That's exciting.
The awards program. So we wanted to do something, it's about recognizing and getting together, recognizing leadership in the community. So we figured out some things that we wanted to do. It's a start. It's going to evolve. So we have, I think, 6 or 7 categories for thought leadership, innovation, strategic thinking, and geomatics. And they're open to individuals, government departments, associations, and industry. So that people can go online right now and vote for who they think should get the award for this year.
Oh, wow. Same website?
Yes, it's on the front page of the Expo site. It's right there.
Right on. Very cool.
I got one other thing, and we can kind of engage the group, but maybe we can go around the horn, and maybe you guys can just say the one thing that you're most looking forward to getting out of the expo. Like when you're done, what's the one thing that you really are looking forward to coming away with? And since he's at the bottom, we'll start with Ken.
Yeah, I'm really excited to come away with a sense that I know there's a Canadian community out there that's interested in all aspects of geospatial. You've got AI, you've got the education side, the SLAMS part, surveyors, all sorts, all over the board. And we come together and we talk about it, we share stories, and dive deep into different use cases or whatnot. I'm just really excited that it's all coming together in one spot, and it's and to feel part of the community, really.
Yeah. There's that community word again.
Yeah, I know. It seems to be a theme.
How about you, Peter?
Well, that's he's being very polite and diplomatic. Coming from Calgary, I went to university here as well in geomatics engineering, and we always looked at geomatics as being a very small, incestuous community because we all know each other. We've all worked with each other in various different companies, and it's hard to, get away with that, and everybody knows what you're doing. And I find that's one of the best things about this as well, is that you'll be able to find the people that you kind of lost touch with over the years, see what they're doing, look at what their ideas are, and realize, hey, that's a brilliant idea, or let's work together and just see what we can do with this. So that's really what I'm looking for, is the opportunity to see everybody back again.
Yeah, nice. Gavin?
So I kind of got a bit of a mercenary a goal for this. I write for a lot of publications and geo companies, and my clients have been asking a lot about BIM. BIM's been talked about, but in a lot of the world out there, it is mandatory. They're mandating the cost savings from 4D construction and virtual design construction. So BIM, one of the tracks is Building Smart Canada. Now, Building Smart's an international organization, and Building Smart Canada is the kind of the lead on pushing or engaging this in North America. it's ironic in the the U.S. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. We're victims of our own affluence. If we can afford to be inefficient, we continue to be that. In other parts of the world, what we would call third world countries, they mandate BIM. Now, Canada's a bit ahead of us on BIM, so sit in on, at least if you're just a casual attendee, sit in on the Building Smart panel.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's go, Karina, Alex, and we'll let John take us home. Karina, what are you looking forward to?
Well, like kind of what everybody else is saying, the community thing. But because I've got new friends, I've got old friends, I've got friends I haven't met yet, so I want to get to know them. And I really look forward to just engaging with everybody that's there. And with that comes so much more. Like, it comes with learning. I get to learn stuff, and I know my students are also going to walk away with that as well. So for them to see the community and get the excitement and see the technologies and see everything kind of in action, it really provides a different lens on geomatics. And especially for my first year students, where sometimes they don't even know what geomatics is when they sign up, and they're just like, Mom and Dad told me. And then they go to this and they're like, wow, this is so cool. And they come out of it with a different perspective. So I, like, for me, myself, I'm the selfish side. I'm like, yes, I get to go see everybody again and talk with them. On my more professional side, I'm like, I'm so excited for my students, because I think that this is such a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, sure sounds like
that's cool.
Yeah, it's okay to be selfish once in a while.
Yeah, Kent always is, so it's fine.
Let's go up to Not My Jam. Alex.
I mean, I'm basically just going to voice everybody else on this one. So, getting to see people that I haven't seen for a while, but also seeing the new and fresh ideas, seeing the new technology that comes along. Like Karina was saying, building the new connections as well as the old ones. This is a really small community, but it's still pretty big. So it's just, getting out there, seeing the talent, but then also kind of brushing up on some things that you might have forgotten about your industry, because although it is really small, there's a lot of applications. So just, keeping up to date. It's a refresher. It's a renewal thing. It's basically like a professional vacation.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. All right, John, take us home.
For me, you said when we're done, what I look forward to. I think the thing that I look forward to the most is the stories that people tell me after. I have my own experience of every event. Yeah. And if you're organizing an event, it's very different than just someone who's attending. Like you're an organizer. I love it when I hear, I met this company, or I met a new reseller, or I made a new friend, or I got hired at a job. That makes it all worthwhile, because I feel like I've made an impact, I've made a difference in helping others. To be perfectly honest, I get a real thrill out of that, hearing those stories.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you're changing the course of people's lives, It's very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very exciting. Well, you guys have done an amazing job promoting this event. And again, it's the GoGeomatics Expo. It is October 28th through 30th in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And one more time, that website is GoGeomaticsExpo.com to find out more. Sean, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think overall, like the sense I get is the close knit community, but especially where it is, it really ties into everything these guys are talking about with the location and how bringing everyone together and seeing what everyone's been doing. So
agreed. Good stuff. Really enjoyed the conversation. One more time, I think what you're trying to say, Sean, is add value, make friends.
Well, I'm assuming also that's the stories that John wants to hear, is how many people got value and made a friend.
Exactly. And there's going to be plenty of those stories.
Absolutely.
Don't miss out on this expo for sure. All right. If you want to be a guest on a future show, simply go to info@thegeoholics.com and send us an email. I think we're booked into November? end of November right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, get on the list. Tragically Hip, Three Pistols is the name of the song.
It is
available everywhere. So be on the lookout for that documentary on Prime.
You got some takeaways?
Free plug. Don't get used to it. Until next time, everyone. One more time, GoGeomaticsExpo.com. Get registered for this event. Be a vendor. Get on.
It's like $5 US. It's very affordable.
Yes, be a part of it. It's going to be awesome. And most importantly, be safe and healthy, everyone. My takeaway is I want to go to Canada.
Yeah, right?